Welcome to Mná Feasa, a podcast series featuring stories from older women in County Kilkenny. Produced by me, Helena Byrne, in collaboration with Kilkenny County Council Library Services and Kilkenny Heritage. Do you salute the magpie? Have you ever decorated a May altar? Did you ever go rambling? There are so many old traditions and superstitions, commonplace in years gone by, that have become a rarity in modern Kilkenny. How we speak has also changed, although it's fair to say many of our Irish isms have stood the test of time. My grandmother Nancy in Graignamanagh used to call us Alana as a term of endearment. It comes from the Irish word lanav, meaning child, so it seemed fitting to name my own daughter Alana. To understand who the women of Kilkenny are today, it's important to reflect on who we were and where we've come from. In episode 9, older women of Kilkenny share some of the many traditions, superstitions and beliefs that moulded their experience of life in Kilkenny in years gone by.
Once the rosary was said, that could be after supper, we'll say whatever supper could be from 6 to 7. And once the rosary was said, Daddy would always go visit the neighbours. He would go see the neighbours.
Okay.
Yeah, and he might only, just really just a form of talking about the day and talking about the week and, you know.
Yeah, and that was every day?
Every night he went to see some of the neighbours.
So this was sort of rambling?
Yeah, kind of rambling. Yeah, just ramble over to them for maybe an hour and a half and come back then. He'd give all the gossip to Mammy. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be gossip about anybody now, you know, be kind of what they were doing during the day, you know, if they were at bringing cattle to the mart or, you know, talking about really chinwagging, I suppose, really, you know.
Calling into people's houses for a cup of tea and a chat, was that a lot more common back in the day?
People rambled, you see, they call that rambled. Especially outside the towns. You probably know it more in the countryside. Like you'd have callers nearly every night. Wouldn't just someone come in for a couple of hours for a chat and ramble. Yeah, ramble. Yeah.
Ramble we all have. And take down the melodeon or something off the top of the dresser, and the next thing they'd be all up dancing on the floor. Yeah. Then they'd be dancing away the half set and waltzing and stuff. You know, you wouldn't be kind of thinking you're going to have it or preparing. You'd have a gramophone or something.
Do you think that's something that we're kind of lacking nowadays? That, you know, people don't really just call into each other.
No, and you're never together. Like even as time went on there, when children got to the age of 14 or something, they were never together again for a dinner, you know, and the family had separated mostly and the children were gone to a match and that. So they still didn't have the family dinner together anymore, you know. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the rambling. You'd basically have a ceilidh in the house. Is that right? You'd like just get up and do some dancing, and would you tell stories?
And a cup of tea.
Have a cup of tea,
yeah.
And just share all the gossip.
Yes, you would need to buy a paper.
Right. You get it all from the neighbours going around.
Put play cards, isn't it? In different houses, different nights. Yeah.
It's mostly men that come at night to ramble, because the wives will be at home and I'd be only a child, but the wives is probably at home minding the kids, but the men would go off rambling, you know. God. And they go off to the houses, like, you know.
Would that have been the same in your case? Was it mostly the men of the families that would be doing the rambling? Yeah. Oh, well, I don't like that bit there.
The mother would be at home helping the children with the homework and getting them ready for bed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's when they had the electric lighting. They were able to see the cards. Yeah. But there was, before that, there was tilly lamps. Turpentine to light it, wasn't it? And
paraffin oil.
Paraffin, yeah, sorry, you mentioned paraffin earlier, yeah.
And then they had another thing about Easter water. You know, the Easter water. And I can remember at home, they go around to the fields, sprinkling water on the fields for the crops to go crops to go in.
Right.
That was another tradition. You know, all those things.
And that would all happen around Easter? Or,
the Easter water, yeah.
Then we had a passion of Mullakill. We used to love that. We used to love doing passion, yeah. It's on the second Sunday in August. They celebrate Mass, and then for 9 days after that, they would have the what they used to call the Passion of Mullakill. There were, I think it was nine little stations, and you went and you say your prayers, the holy water. And to this day, it is still renowned for its miracles, for its cures, for everything. Yeah, it is, yeah. And that was literally just across the hills from us.
Yeah.
You know. But now to get there, we had to go through fields, stepping stones over a little river.
Oh, God.
Yeah. They wouldn't do it today. Children would not do it today.
Good Lord.
And we did that for 9 nights on the trot. Mammy used to always tell a story. There's a tree in this well, right? And this person went to cut down this tree. And when he went to cut down the tree and he looked across and he saw his house was burning, he stopped, he went home, but there was nothing wrong with the house. He came back, proceeded to do the same thing, and he saw that the house was burning. But he didn't go home this time. And when he went home, it was burnt to the ground.
He was given a warning.
Yes. The bark of the tree was always put in houses to keep houses safe from fire and things like that. And to this day, I have it in my house. You can take branches, but you can't cut a tree. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you can get bits of branches. And you can bring that home and put it in your house.
Okay.
They say even as much as a leaf saves your house. And I have it in all my house.
It's a good insurance policy,
Well,
if ever I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember ever having a May altar?
Yes. Yeah. We had it at home, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Knockbrock. So it's funny, you go up the stairs and the rooms are there, but then there was another little stairs up, about 4 steps. At home, my own place, where I come out now.
Yeah.
But there was always an altar there. But I'll always remember, and my father, Lord mercy him, he used to get a bush, the scap bush.
Yeah.
And put coloured paper. There were the pink copies we had going to school that time, in pink copies, and he'd have a few of them. And he'd have this May bush every year, the 1st of May, and that bush is hanging up at the entrance to our place below. That was something. Now as you go up the road, go up to Kiltarkin, go up to Daniels. There was a house there, they're gone over now, but they had it up to the time, they used to always put up this big May bush with all the, different colours on it. And
little
still,
trinkets
they're
and
still
things.
going on, and if you're travelling sometime, you'd see in old houses along the way,
Saluting the magpie, things like that.
Yes.
Did you grow up with all of those?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did, yeah. We'd wave to her.
Oh, okay.
Say hello to her.
Right.
And I still do it. Daft.
Well, I sometimes don't, and then I feel, oh God, I should have done that now, because if something happens, it'll be because of...
Yeah. No, I and they had 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a wedding, 4 for a buy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for the secret, never to be told. And you'd always be hoping you'd see 2. I know, look at that's probably superstitious, really and truly. But I would always wave to the magpie.
Yeah.
I was getting up one morning. I had to bring my car to the garage, right? And I was up fairly early, and I was looking out the window, and next thing I saw this one magpie running up and down my path, And I said, oh my God. And then I said, I'm getting that nonsense out of my head now. There's no such thing, and I'm not going to bother about 1 for sorrow or 2 for joy. But anyway, as it happened, it was 1 for sorrow. So I got ready and went down to my car that I was going to take to the garage. I was just bending down to look, and I see a flat tire. So my whole thinking was...
In the winter nights, we'll say, the dark evenings, people would come to our house and they'd be telling yarns, and now they were absolutely hairy yarns, really, about this long dog crossing across the road, and that wouldn't let you pass, and all this kind of thing. Should I say they were made up, half You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing. You
Yeah.
sort of say, you think it
Yeah.
could be made up,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah.
yeah.
And but you'd often hear the story about the dog that crossed the road. There was a cross with literally
The black dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
crossed the road. All you see was his 2 eyes.
God.
That story would be told several times.
And if you came across this dog, just turn around?
Yes, just turn around and go back.
Right.
You were not to pass.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't. Just to be sure,
Never saw him, thank God. Yeah, I often heard of the banshee and all that. The boys would come in, they'd say, I heard the banshee, Now, the banshee was always supposed to be bad luck.
Yeah. If somebody was going to pass away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they never really, even if they'd be missing saying it, but, and I know they'd be missing saying it, but Mammy would never want to hear that anyone heard the banshee.
No, I can understand.
Yeah, no, she'd never want to hear that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be spoken about,
Just don't
Yeah,
mess
it was
with
like a cat squealing or a cat bawling or something like that was supposed to be the noise of the banshee.
Yeah.
And I can remember my mother telling me when I was an adult, she was talking about the fact that she never knew her own mother. She was 3 when mother died. Mother had baby number 3. Everything was fine. There was no doctor in Thomastown at that time. We're talking about, I think, 1905. And a few hours after the delivery, she started to hemorrhage, which obviously was a aftermath that wasn't taken away properly. And my grandfather had to go on horseback to Stonyford to get the doctor. And by the time he got back with the doctor, she was dead. And he told my mother that he knew she'd be dead because a black dog ran across the road when they were coming back from Stonyford, and that was a sign that a death had occurred. Yeah.
Now, the thing they say about, which I noticed myself, like a robin. You know what they say, a robin? Like that see, like Paul is around us, or a white feather. I found one there lately, white feather.
The robin as well.
Yeah,
myself and my parents have seen robins at the most unusual times. The day before Anne died, a robin just landed literally on the windowsill right here, basically in our kitchen, so like a foot away. And we all sort of just stopped. We were all sitting around the table, just stopped and looked and kind of looked at each other going, really? And there was a few incidents like that that you just think,
They are signs, Helena. They are good signs there, like I said, the robin. And I mean, if a robin was going to appear to anyone, definitely to be Anne.
Yeah.
Growing up, what I'm really conscious of is that the English we spoke is Hiberno English. It's English hugely influenced by Irish. The blessings when you go into a house. I mean, my mother's blessing all the time. If something was going on, God bless the work. But that's directly from the Irish Ratdea or Nubber. So it's directly from that. All of those blessings are directly from the Irish language. So that custom just got translated into English, So I am very conscious that the society that I grew up in, even though it was English language speaking for the most part, the culture was very much a culture that had been there previously, and had to be translated, so to speak. Some words were held on to, some full Irish words were held on to, and looking back on them as an adult, I realised that they were the words that carried huge meaning, huge emotional weight. The term of affection for a child was Alana. That was the one. That's what we heard. And if you were in real trouble, it would be Alana Curaban, and we listened out for that word because that was the kindest word we knew. Words of disdain. If you wanted to talk about somebody being awkward, I didn't know the word awkward. We were omlock. I did not know the word awkward. I had to learn it. Yeah. The man was an Amadan and the woman was an Unshak. We knew that. We were Unshaks. The boys were Amadans. We wanted to insult them. I'm just fascinated with that those words were held on to.
Mná Feasa is a podcast series featuring stories from older women in County Kilkenny. Produced by me, Helena Byrne, in collaboration with Kilkenny County Council Library Services and Kilkenny Heritage. This collaboration is kindly funded by commemorative initiatives under the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts, Gaeltacht, Sport and Media. To find out more, visit helenabyrne.com.